Good afternoon, everyone, and good evening. 大家好. My name is Heng Sure. It is Sunday, the 9th of May, here in the Gold Coast of Queensland. It's May 8th, back in California. Hope you're all well. We're going to be exploring Master 𝗕𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀's picture biography once again, as we do every Saturday afternoon and every Friday evening, depending on where you're sitting. So let's get going. Today, Elaine is going to be our Dharma requester today, and we appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is ring the bell 3 times, invite you all to join me in making 3 half bows, and then Elaine will go ahead and do the Dharma request. So here we go. Here are our 3 half bows. First bow. 再问讯 3问讯 Okay, Elaine, if you would like to request Dharma, please go ahead and start.
恭请大德森听，为此法会及一切众生，请转妙法轮，教导我们如何了生脱世，离苦得乐，殊真无生。Will the Sangha with great virtue, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to live suffering and attain bliss and end birth and death, and quickly will lie non-birth.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Namo sadanto suchedoye olahudi sanmiao sanputoshi.
Namo sadanto suchedoye olahudi sanmiao sanputoshi.
无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿觉如来真实义。Supreme and wondrous Dharma, subtle and profound, rarely is encountered even in billions of eons. But now we see and hear it and accept it reverently. May we truly understand the Buddha's actual meaning. All right, Elaine, thank you so much for the Dharma request. All of you who would like to hear today's lecture in fluent Mandarin translation, please go to the right-hand bottom corner of your software and you'll find a globe, symbol of a globe, and it says interpretation. If you click on there, you can find Chinese, and there you are. 就所有想听一种流利的普通话翻译，那么你们的软件的右下角就有 interpretation， 看到了吗？那么那里就有 Chinese 就好了，可以听到我们的义工很发心把我讲的英语翻译成普通话。Also, if you go to the chat box, you'll find a link that will take you to a Vietnamese translation. And all of you who would like to hear my English commentary to Master 𝗕𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀's picture biography can hear what I say in a fluent Vietnamese translation, courtesy of the kind-hearted translators who make that possible week after week. Okay, we respectfully acknowledge the 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗀 people of the Ugambi language region as traditional storytellers and custodians of the land where the monastery is located. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, as well as all First Nations people whose sovereignty was never ceded. 我们恭敬地承认与冈北语族的孔布玛丽人是我们寺院所在地的传统叙事者和守护人。我们向过去、现在和未来的长者们致敬，并且向所有从来没有放弃主权的第一民族的原住民致敬。The bells sound wide resounds throughout 100 million worlds. The Buddha's law is heard and spread all throughout the triple world. The wondrous sounds that everywhere fill the Dharma realm with peace. May those who hear it gain the strength to follow in faith the Buddha's path. 众生传3000界内佛法让万亿国中共寻其法界和平𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃。Alrighty, well that does our beginning protocols. Welcome everybody, glad you're here. Again, if you would like to hear Chinese, we can supply a translation. If you'd like to hear Vietnamese, the same. So far today, there are 73 of us coming from all around the planet. So glad you're here. I'm going to announce this now and also again at the end of the lecture, which is today's lecture is going to be the last one for probably a month and more, because I'm about to embark on travels again. This is the time for Buddha's birthday, and I have to go to Wuxi to take part in the United Nations Buddha's birthday celebration, which is happening in China this year. So we've been invited, so I'll be going. Then we have another important gathering in Rome. The Catholic Church has sponsored a peace council, and it's very timely given the world that we're in. So there's that. I will be traveling on from Rome to Paris for our new monastery there, following which I'll be going again to Poland, my fourth visit to Poland for Dharma talks on science, on AI, and Buddhist views, and then back to California. So all that traveling is going to require me to be in and out of Wi-Fi range, and I think it's just a better idea than trying to guess whether or not I'm online, is just to say that we will put a pause. We will pause our picture biography lecture series until I am back in California and stable and have reliable Wi-Fi. So that's to say that today's lecture, today's stories will be the last two. I predict it will be probably through the end of June. So my guess is we'll be picking up again in July and should be stable from then on. So if you know that there's somebody who comes regularly, who isn't here today, maybe you could pass the word on to let them know. And our fearless and faithful corresponding secretary, Chen-Yu, will also let everybody know on email that our series has taken a pause while I have to travel. Okay, let's see. Today, our translator is right here in the Gold Coast and also in Alameda, California. We have friends listening in from Ukiah, from Vancouver, from Kuala Lumpur, from Talmadge, California, from Sydney, from Cascade, Colorado, from Guangzhou, from Campbell, California, Hong Kong, from Sunnyvale, California, Saratoga, California, Kuala Lumpur, Montreal in Quebec. Let's see, where else here? From Oregon, from Northern California, from Jakarta, 2 Jins, don't know where they are. From City of 10,000 Buddhas, Jin Heng Sure is here. Ukiah, Malaysia, from Kansas, from New York City's Chinatown, from the Bay Area, from St. Petersburg, Florida, one side of the country to the other, Mesa, Arizona, Calgary, Alberta, Vancouver, Oklahoma, San Jose, San Leandro, Virginia, Vancouver again. Lots of Canadians here. Glad that you're here. Then we switch over to the other side of the planet, and oh my goodness, we have just about every province in China accounted for. Somebody could count up, I guess. We'd run out of fingers before we ran out of provinces. 就说北京、山东、哈尔滨、云南，你看，山东、悉尼、黑龙江，哪里？还有字排的这么小，还有就说西安，还有济南，还有兰州，兰州不容易啊，苏州、浙江，就说宝鸡市 ，OK， 还有吉林东北、安徽、河北、内蒙古、深圳，西安，湖北，你是不是的广西比较少？甘肃也有一些，不多，河北，就说还有江苏，浙江，江苏，黑龙江。江苏南京 ，OK, good. 江苏、黑龙江、辽宁、山东、深圳、洛阳 and 河南 ，OK. Wow, it's many places in China. Okay, now, where is our teacher? Our teacher is in Nanhua Si. Take a look here. Here is our picture biography. It's 1944. The Second World War is in the 4th year. Master 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗀 is 105 years old. 105. And we've been keeping track of all the unusual beings who have shown up to get close to our teacher. We've, my goodness, we have had white foxes, we had tigers, we had mynah birds, we had, who else? 2 ducks, geese, all these different beings who, we had a fox spirit as well, who showed up and then either got the precepts or took refuge and then disappeared or died, or in the case of the mynah bird, he was carried away by an eagle. So these are different beings. We talk about the Dharma realms. There's a Dharma realm of humans and Dharma realm of gods and ghosts and animals. And when the animals cross over and react to the teacher and say, we want to take refuge with you, people pay attention. All right? So here's one of those stories. Are you ready? Now, mind you, notice this is story number 186, a total of 200 stories. So we've got 14 to go before we're done. The title is 黑龙怪归正法. So 很多黑龙江来的佛友今天这里有黑龙神要皈依. Ready? Here we go. 甲申195岁，江西谢双呼一声，送新戒尼演会来求戒。一日过堂绕佛，忽晕厥，须有营三坛壁，贵晕有黑龙怪缠身，现因得戒。龙莫能进， 𝗕情求受有冥界，改邪归正，并戒身，化一黑龙相，龙首人身，令眼会情而受戒，公云之。In 1944, during the Master's 105th year, Dr. Xie Shuanghu of Jiangxi arrived with a newly ordained bhikshuni, Yen-Hui, to seek the precepts. One day, while they were circumambulating the Buddhas after the meal, Yen-Hui suddenly fainted. Then she regained consciousness. After the transmission of the 3 sets of precepts, she knelt down before the Master and confessed that a black dragon spirit had been possessing her. But since she had received the precepts, the dragon could no longer take control of her, and it now sought to receive precepts for the deceased. 𝗕𝗿𝗰𝗀𝗃, we know about that. It promised to change its evil ways and reform. The dragon then borrowed her body and drew a picture of a black dragon with the body of a person and a dragon's head. Then Yen-Hui held up the dragon's portrait while requesting the precepts on the dragon's behalf. The Master agreed. Everybody follow all the ins and outs of this story? How unusual. So here is our artist, and our artist has taken the picture. Who is here? Here's Master Empty Cloud. He's got his patched robe. He's sitting on a meditation cushion. He's inside the building, probably the Buddha Hall or the Chan Hall. You can see there's incense burning. Here's another monk. And kneeling in front of him is a bhikshuni. Does she look like 𝗕𝗿𝗃𝗃? Maybe not exactly. Maybe more like 𝗕𝗿𝗃𝗃, possibly. Don't know. This is a young nun, brand new nun, so it has to be 𝗕𝗿𝗃𝗃. So, but look, there's a picture. And the picture, it's a person, but he's got a dragon's head, a human body and a dragon's head. And the nun is holding the picture in her hand, and something's going on, and we can't quite tell. So here's the story. The story says he's 105 years old, and there's a layman, a doctor, who has come from Jiangxi, maybe Nanchang, or Yunji, somewhere around there. And he brought a young nun to receive the precepts. Now, so you understand how this works. If you have a local monk and you want to become, you want to join the Sangha, what you do is you go to the local monk and maybe get the refuges, maybe take the 5 precepts, and that monk might shave your head and say, you can be a trainee, but at some point you will have to take the Shramaneri precepts, the Bhikshuni precepts, and the Bodhisattva precepts. You have to wait until a big monastery says, 传戒, 三坛具足大戒, the big precepts. And then you travel to City of 10,000 Buddhas or Nanhua Monastery, and monks, candidates come from all over China, all over the world to receive the precepts. And then that happens maybe once every 3 years. At CTDB, it's every 3 years. Master Empty Cloud has been doing it every year because China has lots of candidates. So she has come, she's already, her head is shaved, but she hasn't got the 3 sets of precepts. So in the training period, everybody's eating lunch, just like now, today, we just finished lunch here, and this young woman faints down, 昏倒, right? She falls to the ground. Then she becomes conscious again, and people understand that there's something unusual going on with her. Okay, the training period is over, and they have had the actual transmission. Shramanera precepts, Bhikshu, Bhikshuni precepts, Bodhisattva precepts. She requests an audience with Master Empty Cloud. She says, 师父, 可以跟你请法吗? He says, 可以. So what does she say? She says, actually, Two of us took the precepts, me and the black dragon spirit that's possessing my mind. Whoa! Oh no, black dragon. So she said, before this, the dragon used to come and break the precepts with me. And once I became a bhikshuni, he couldn't do it anymore because there are Dharma protectors taking charge of me. So, but the dragon hasn't given up, and it says, could he, trying to take control of me like before, could he get a set of precepts for the spirit of the dragon that used to be in charge of me, but since I took the precepts, no longer can? Is that all people follow? Everyone makes sense of this? So he wants the 𝗕𝗺𝗰𝗀𝗃. Everybody see this here? Here's our 𝗕𝗺𝗃𝗃, right? And how many of us have taken the precepts for the deceased, either here at Gold Coast or somewhere else, right? Quite a few. Precepts for the deceased. You take the bodhisattva precepts for a soul who is somewhere stuck in King Yama's realm, can't get out, not enough merit. So you take the precepts on their behalf. The dragon spirit said, if you will do that for me, I will change, he says. So the dragon, now in the body of the new nun, says, give me a pen and a paper, and he draws a picture of a black dragon head on the body of a person. When they do the 𝗕𝗺𝗃𝗃, instead of holding up a paiwei, the nun holds up the picture of the dragon-headed person, right? So everybody's kind of got that idea. All right, that's what's going on here. Master Empty Cloud, always one to help living beings cross over, says, no problem. 可以. Here's the verse. 黑龙作祟乱女真，虽然出家仍旧亲，南华受戒其圣者，一同受戒远离身。The black dragon spirit possessed the young woman. Although she became a monastic, it possessed her as before. At Nanhua Temple, she received the precepts and prayed to the sage monk. After she and the dragon both received the precepts, the dragon left her body. Okay. Well, dragon talk. Wow-ee, dragons. I might add, where in the sutras that we've heard about, where else do we find out about dragons? If somebody said Sixth Patriarch Sutra, oh, where did the Sixth Patriarch Sutra take place? Nanhua Monastery, exactly where he is now. Do you remember how the Sixth Patriarch crossed over a dragon that was causing trouble? Could this be the same dragon? Don't know. This nun came from Jiangxi, which is farther north. Nanhua is in the far south. Okay, now this is the basic outline of the story for the purpose of our picture biography. We turn to the Nianpu, the autobiography, to get the details. Here we are. Let's get some details. I'm going to make this bigger. Okay. Cliff, could I call on you to read this? Let's see. Let's make it bigger here. Is that big enough? 𝗕𝗵𝗰𝗲𝗊. Okay, here we go.
江西南昌是女，深闺带字。清江蟹双仆者，业一年50余无子，闻女名欲取之。你闻双仆奉佛亦许之，何谨之兮不能同席。初女年及鸡，忽有怪物附身，向女求爱，女艰惧，则谨缠其身，以鼻出水养之，欲死。自其所为，自是衰失去，蟹出不知也。 西归予以道谢，亦无容之何。民国31年，乃投清江县清定庵常开示为尼，法名慧，号道勤，而怪物往来之度。常开示语之曰：吾闻虚云老和尚处化岭南，当在一大德也。何理之？虽于32年春期，有双仆伴来南华起戒。一日过堂绕佛，女忽昏倒于地，久方苏。既得戒，颇怪乃告女曰：汝今得戒，吾以无奈何汝。自今以后，为日随汝以待系养，否则汝当为吾起戒也。女曰：戒须姓名容相，汝来去无踪，又无姓氏，何从得戒为？怪曰：吾名𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃，容相，请你为之。女曰：吾不识字，又不能画，奈何？怪曰：𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃，汝但执笔可耳。女如其说，垂手如入睡人。然须臾化成，则龙头人身，鳞角皆具。有女报之，跪请云公老和尚为说幽冥戒，唤始觉，后供南华功德堂，日寇至，始被焚去。
Okay, boy, if this, you could make this into a science fiction movie and people would love it and they probably wouldn't believe it. It's just so amazing, all right? So, here we go. The black dragon spirit begs to receive the precepts for beings of the nether realm. We can compare how accurately we've interpreted the bare bones of the picture biography. There was a young woman of the Xu family in Nanchang. We were right, Nanchang in Jiangxi. She was living in seclusion, awaiting marriage. So I guess she'd been promised to somebody, and you have, once you're affianced, once you're a fiancé, you stay separate. In Qingliang, there was a doctor named 𝗕𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, 50 years of age and no kids. Having heard of the pure reputation of the young woman, he said, I'd like to marry you. The woman, having heard that the 50-year-old doctor was a devoted Buddhist, said, okay. Yet, on the very night of their wedding, they could not share the same bed. The woman, when she had first reached marriageable age, a strange being suddenly attached itself to her. It sought intimacy, but she firmly resisted. The creature then tightly entwined itself around her body and sprayed water from its nostrils upon her, tormenting her to the point that she wished for death. Eventually, it did as it pleased with her. You all can fill in the details. Thereafter, it would come and go intermittently. At first, the doctor, Dr. Xie, knew nothing about this. They got married. The woman told him the whole story, and what can you do? 1942, 2 years before our story, the 31st year of the Republic, she entered Qingjiang Hermitage in Xinjiang and left home under the name Changkai and got the Dharma name Yanhui and the style name, the Chujia name Daoqin. Yet the strange being continued to come and go as before. So now she's married, but she decides she's got to become a nun. And meanwhile, she still has this dragon spirit giving her trouble. The nun Changkai said, I have heard that Elder Master Xu Yun is down in Lingnan in the south and is one of the great virtuous monks of our age. Why don't you go pay homage to him? So, for that reason, during the spring ordination period, precepts time, 1943, she came to Nanhua Si, accompanied by her husband, Dr. Xu Shuanghu, and said, I'd like to get the full precepts. One day, circumambulating the Buddha during the meal hall ceremony, she suddenly collapsed, unconscious, on the ground. Only after a long time did she revive. The precepts happened The strange being said to her, now that you've received the precepts, I can no longer do anything to you. She has protection now. From this day forward, I can only follow you every day, waiting for an opportunity. Otherwise, you have to seek the precepts for me as well. The woman replied, oh, well, to receive the precepts, you have to have a name and an appearance. You come and go without any warning, and you have no name. How could you get the precepts? The creature answered, my name, 𝗕龙江, Black Dragon River. That's the name of the province of many people who are listening today. As for my appearance, draw me a picture. I'll draw you a picture of me. The woman says, I can't read, I can't draw. Why are you bothering me? The creature replied, that's easy, you just hold the brush, I'll do the art. The woman did as instructed. Lowering her head, she seemed to fall into a confused trance. After a short while, the drawing was complete. Here was a being with the head of a dragon and the body of a man, complete with scales and horns. Carrying the portrait in her arms, she knelt and begged Master Empty Cloud to transmit the precepts for the deceased so she can finally be rid of this spirit. From that time on, the affliction stopped. Later, they put the picture in the 𝗕𝗿𝗃𝗃 at Nanhua Monastery. When the Japanese forces arrived during the war, it was finally destroyed in the flames. There you go. What an amazing story, right? And yet for Master Empty Cloud, again, follow conditions. Just amazing, just amazing. So here's yet another one of these stories that when you hear about them, you go, could that possibly be real? How is this just some long ago and far away fairy tale? Nope. This is the kind of thing that happens when you have a genuine monk. Now, people remember, let's see, here we go. People will remember in the Sixth Patriarch Sutra, there was, in front of Nanhua Si, this is the Tang Dynasty, so this is 600, 700, this is 1300 years earlier, same place. They had a liberating life pond, 放生池, that was in front of Nanhua Si. And it's like our lotus pond over here, only bigger. And a dragon appeared in the pond and caused a lot of trouble. He would appear and then disappear, he'd be big and be small, scared people, made noise when they were trying to meditate. And Master Hua, who lived at Nanhua Si when Master Empty Cloud was there, witnessed these things, said that the Sixth Patriarch's dragon was really a troublemaker. And he said that the dragon had nasty abilities. He could spit out a kind of a gas, a miasma that made it hard to breathe. So it was not cute. It wasn't a Walt Disney kind of dragon. It was really not a pleasant thing. So the Sixth Patriarch decides that he is going to tame the dragon, how to train your dragon, right? So what does he do? So he goes out and he sits by the liberating life pond and he says to the dragon, oh, you're really something. That's pretty amazing. You can make your body different sizes. Can you be really big? And apparently dragons have a lot, this particular dragon had a lot of arrogance. So of course, you want to see a big body? Boom, makes his body really, really big. Sixth Patriarch's like, wow, not bad, very cool. Can you make your body really small? Choop, splish, 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 swims around in the liberating life pond. Tiny body. Sixth Patriarch's like, wow, that's amazing. That's just, you really talented. But you know what? I know something you can't do, he says. And the dragon's like, show me something I can't do. He says, I'll bet you can't jump into my alms bowl. No way, you couldn't do that. So he holds his alms bowl, and the dragon, completely taken in, goes tung tung plunk, jumps into the alms bowl. And he discovers that jumping in is easy, jumping back out, not so easy. Sixth Patriarch goes, okay, now let's talk. And he speaks Dharma for the dragon and talks about cause and effect and talks about kindness and compassion. And the dragon decides that he's going to take refuge. So the Sixth Patriarch has a dragon disciple from that time. Okay, now that's in the sutra. And people hear this and they go, fairy tales. You know, unicorns too, right? And so Master Hua says, oh no. Shifu says, I was there, 1948. And he said, the dragon died there, but he left his skeleton. He said, at Nanhua Monastery, there was the perfect, every bone in place skeleton of a small dragon that had been carried on as one of the treasures of the temple. It was the dragon who took refuge with the Sixth Patriarch. So that's, and you go, you saw the dragon. Oh, okay. So this is another different dragon that came down from Jiangxi province up in the north on the body of this woman. And along with this, we get the story of how it's not, even if some, we talk about possessions and we talk about exorcism. Remember the movie The Exorcist? And it's not easy, even for monks or priests who have spiritual abilities, to coax a spirit out of a human, because why? The spirit is not always there. And in this story, this is the same kind of account, that the spirit can come and go. It can hide, it can appear, it can disappear, it can return. So it's not so easy to predict when the spirit is going to show up, when you can deal with it, right? So in this case, the other interesting part of the story that I paid attention to here is the idea that once the young woman, once she becomes a bhikshuni, her status in terms of spirituality has changed. She is now protected so that the dragon spirit can't mess with her now, right? So you know what they say, here at Gold Coast Dharma Realm, we had our refuge and precept ceremony. We had a young girl named Sophia who became a Buddhist disciple. She was not quite even 1 year old, eight months, and she took refuge. And we also had a 98-year-old take refuge as well. And they say when you take the refuge and the precepts, you get protecting spirits who come along with you. So that shows up in the story as well. Okay, we've got time for one more episode, and let's get started. Here it is, 187. 山风聚𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃来, watching bees swarm while bandits arrive. It's 1944, he's 105 years old as before. 下南华建水路前1月，有山风无数，巨大入母之，结巢于法堂两廊，恭敬桥，恭携𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃等视之，曰𝗕𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗀也，不常见之物，待将有事乎？至11月，日占少，肥强结兰花，去后半小时晴，公派人来解参复云门，足见公路 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃之妙. During the summer, a ceremony to cross over those who died on land or at sea was held at Nanhua Monastery. That's the Shuilukong, the most ornate of ceremonies. During the previous month, a large swarm of bees, as large as a person's thumb in size, nested in both corridors of the Dharma hall. They were very skillful workers, the bees. The master pointed them out to Sun Xue, who is an editor of this book. He said the bees had miniature human heads. They were a very rare sight indeed. Their appearance meant danger was imminent. The appearance of bees with human heads has a significance. Trouble is coming. By the 11th lunar month, Shaozhou was occupied by the Japanese. The bandits attacked and desecrated Nanhua Monastery. They left after half an hour, and the master sent people to escort Mr. Sun to Yunmen Monastery. The master's accurate observations and predictions manifested. So the prediction here was a month earlier when the bees showed up. Master Empty Cloud said, "This is a bad sign. This is not good." Here's our artist. They're in the monastery. You see the bees are up here. The lay people, military, the monks discussing, what does that mean? What's going on with the bees that have human heads? Master Empty Cloud says, trouble is on the way. 山风结巢土匪来，四方风动乱世态，预言先兆于果中，I guess， 待之有事𝗕𝗵𝗴𝗃𝗃。 The giant bees swarmed at the temple, and the bandits arrived. The movement of bees from the four directions revealed the world's turmoil. The master gave a prediction, and indeed it came true. Expecting trouble, he sent Mr. Sun back to Yunmen. Okay. Sun Xue, this author's name is reported by Shifu Master Hua, because he is one of the figures who edited these stories from the autobiography down into the 200 episodes for our story, for our picture biography. Okay, let's see here. I would like to invite Cliff, please, if you don't mind, to read. Let's see here. This is quite a bit, actually, here, if you don't mind. Starting here. I will scroll while you read. Okay, go ahead.
民国33年甲申冬，南华建水陆大堂。前一月，山风倾巢而来，巨如拇指，先在法堂左右廊各营一巢，状如大殿灯笼。其组织工制如图案水波纹，万千重叠，无丝毫出入，且具四色，至为美观。后又于曹溪门外大树上建一巢，游具风不遮人，且严纪律。是时四众咸集，均为神风来朝佛也。即师由云门来主持道场事，往巡视之。时首座观本，知客为因，居士参学履，林远凡、李执中、李纂征等随行。师事良久曰：“此人头峰也。平时栖止于深山石岩中，都是所谓意见者。今来此，其将有事乎？”默然径去。是夕与参曰：“四方风动矣，此间将被兵。然无大碍，苟有事，吾当派人迎汝。”道场圆满，师回云门，至腊月12日，日寇现曲江，18将入夜，土匪既于必兵克复，随劫南华。 𝗵𝗵财物出寺不及半句中，由云门派来接参之僧以种质疑，公于格物前知者又如此。
Okay. In the winter of the Jiashun year, 1944, Nanhua set up a Waterland and Air Dharma Assembly, 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃法会. A strange event occurred 1 month before that. Swarms of mountain bees suddenly arrived in full force. The bees were enormous, each as large as a thumb. First, they built 2 nests, one on each side corridor of the Dharma hall. The nests resembled hanging lanterns in the great hall. Their structure was exquisitely intricate, patterned like rippling water designs. This is the bees' hive, layered by the tens of thousands with not the slightest irregularity. Moreover, the nests displayed 4 distinct colors, and they were exceptionally beautiful. Later, the bees built yet another nest on a great tree outside the 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃 gate, even larger than the others. The bees did not sting people. They maintained remarkably strict order and discipline. At that time, the Fourfold Assembly had gathered. Everybody said that these were divine bees coming to pay homage to the Buddha. 𝗕𝗵𝗃. When the master returned from Yunnan to preside over the Dharma assembly, he went to inspect them. Accompanying him were Master Guanban, the 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃, guest prefect Wei Yin, layman Sun Shui-Lü, Lin Yuanfang, Li Zhihong, Li Zhizhong, Li Yanzheng, and others. After watching the bees for a long time, the master said, "These are human-headed bees. Ordinarily, they dwell deep within the mountain cliffs and caves, and they're rarely seen in populated places. Now that they have come here, perhaps something is about to occur." He didn't say specifically. Then he fell silent and departed directly. That evening, he said privately to Mr. Cun, "The bees of the 4 directions are stirring. This place will soon encounter military conflict, armies. Yet there will be no great calamity. If anything happens, I will send somebody to fetch you." After the completion of the Dharma assembly, the 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃, the master returned to Yunnan, and then on the 12th day of the 12th month, the Japanese army captured Qujiang. On the night of the 18th, bandits, coveting the wealth of refugees sheltering from the war, looted Nanhua Temple. The bandits had not even been carrying the valuables out of the monastery for half an hour before the monk whom the master had dispatched from Yunnan to fetch Sun arrived at the scene. Thus, once again, the master demonstrated his extraordinary foreknowledge of events. Okay, there we go. So, 2 stories today from the master's 105th year. My goodness. You might say that predicting events from the behavior of animals is kind of unscientific, or maybe even woo-woo, airy-fairy, mysterious. I want you all to know that at the Berkeley Monastery, we have a layman, Tom Booker, and Tom he was retired, but at University of California, Berkeley, he was known as Dr. Earthquake. He was head of the California Earthquake Research Facility at UC Berkeley, right? This was a government-funded University of California Scientific Research Institute that was charged with predicting earthquakes. Because, as you know, San Francisco has long been known as the city that waits to die. because in 1908 we had the major earthquake that destroyed so many lives and property. And prior to that, the Hayward Fault, which is on the East Bay side, also regularly, every 130 years, erupted once at a degree of like 7 point something. So Tom Brokaw, his job was to find new ways to predict earthquakes. And where do you suppose they went? They had every amount of money to buy, fantastic scientific mechanical devices to see when the needles start to jump for seismic activity. This is the seismology lab at UC Berkeley. Where were they going with Tom? They were looking at the movement of ants. They were looking at the movement of chickens and dogs, because the animals and insects were much more accurate predictors of earthquake activity than any human-invented scientific instrument. So people laughed, but Tom Brokaw was able to show people that chickens register deep movements quicker. And you can, if you watched, and they were watching chickens, they were watching ants, they were watching things like human-headed bees. So don't assume that this is witchcraft. In fact, science needs to look other places to be able to tell what's going on. Okay, there we go. Thank you all again for tuning in, for supporting this series. There are 105 of us now. We, and Master Empty Cloud was 105. Do you think that predicts any kind of events? Is that a auspicious, that we have 105 people on them? No. Conspiracy theories. Oh my goodness. So what I want people to know is that we are going to take a break from this series while I travel. And it may be hard to predict how long I will be away, but we will certainly be back as soon as we can. And I think it will be probably 6 weeks or so when we are away. And I wish we could keep going, but I have to travel, and I don't want people to tune in and not find us, right? So pay attention to your email, and Chanyu will happily send you a notice that we are back. We have found Wi-Fi, and we will finish off our account of Master Empty Cloud's picture biography. We only have a few. We only have a few events left to go, and that will be the end of our series. Then we have to decide what to do next. What should be our next series? Because this is here at the Gold Coast Dharma Realm. It's been lovely having everybody come together on a Saturday afternoon after lunch. It's a chance for the whole community to see each other and listen to stories that ordinarily you wouldn't get to hear otherwise. So if we keep this time available, it's 7:30 in California on Friday night. And so after another, not even 20, after another, 16 lectures will be done. We can do a review, so we can stretch it out a few more weeks. But pretty soon we're going to need a new topic to investigate. Maybe the lives of the patriarchs, what it will be, don't know. We'll decide, and everybody is welcome to send in your thoughts of what you would like to hear. Okay, that's being the case. Let's dedicate merit with our mantra for a better world. One of my visits is going to be in Rome for the new Peace Council, which brings Muslims, Jews, Catholics, Buddhists, Taoists, Native Americans, indigenous folks to come together to investigate ways to make a more peaceful world, one of the best ways that I know is to recite Medicine Buddha's mantra. Please make a wish. You can send your merit anywhere you'd like. I know where mine is going to go. A world free of nuclear explosions. Banjo has a unique sound. Okay, here's a chance for us all to bow to 𝗕𝗰𝗄𝗃 together. I'll ring the bell. First bow. Second bow. And third bow. Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. That's going to do it for us for a few weeks. See you all in the summer. 𝗕𝗵𝗄𝗃, everybody. Bye-bye now.